Gentlemen, ladies, babies, and everybody in between, welcome to Slightly Unqualified. We got the dynamic duo tonight. We're missing Senor Khan. Wish him the best. He's probably traveling. But with me tonight, we have Matt, aka the GOAT,
Sir?
and yours truly, who will be the host tonight. So you have to listen to every word I say. And when we go into duos mode, things kind of fall off the rails. So
They do.
it's going to be good. We got some fun things to talk about tonight. But first, before we get into that, let's talk about this week. We had 4th of July. Was yours good? Did you blow up stuff? Give me the highlights.
I don't blow up things, typically speaking. I just watch other things get blown up.
Oh, all right.
But it was the same as it is every year for me. It doesn't mean it's not fun.
Mm-hmm.
But it's the same kind of routine thing we do every 4th of July, which is go to my sister's house, the one that calls you an old man.
Yep.
We watch fireworks that are like across the way. They have like some big show they do that like you can go to like the park and watch it, but her house is like right on the corner where you can see it without having to go to the park. So not dealing with any people. And then like there's another park within her neighborhood where people just like light whatever they want pretty much. Uh, don't know if they're supposed to, so I'll say allegedly light things. But yeah, so we watched that. Baby's first 4th of July, so he had a blast. He had the occasional,
The
but
jump scare.
yeah, occasional jump scare, but he is fine after the first couple. Yeah, I made a brownie bar, so I was in charge of dessert. So I made brownies, a nut topping, and some graham cracker pie crust.
What's so funny about a nut topping?
Oh, there's just the whole culmination of all of it. Nothing about the nut topping specifically, unless you like. I don't know why you would single that out, but I wouldn't. So anyway, so nut
You're the
topping,
one that giggled.
graham cracker pie crust, and then some vanilla ice cream. It was such a hit that nobody ate any of it. I think there was I brought 3 trays of brownies. I think 1/4 of one tray was eaten, and
Dang.
like 2 scoops of ice cream, and 1 scoop was mine. So,
Well, I mean, you win some, you lose some. Hopefully, you still have some that you're munching on every day, or did you just throw it away? Oh yeah.
no, yeah, I'm definitely munching on the nut topping, but pretty much daily. But
on the daily
the other
day.
stuff I have no interest in, just the nut topping.
No cream cheese. Well, let me tell you about my 4th of July. So I was lucky enough to spend it up in Happy Jack, Arizona at a
Happy
cabin. Yep. It's a little bit outside of Payson, and we were at a cabin that was like the most beautiful cabin I've ever been to. It was like 5,000 square feet, and they had a theater room. There was a hot tub, game room with like arcade games. It was awesome. Just chilled. It was me, my family, my sisters, my mom and dad, and my brother and his family. And it was pretty great just to watch all these little kids get in fights.
Yeah.
At one point, I saw my nephew jump towards my other nephew who was laying on a couch, and he full on karate kicked him in the face.
Oh wow!
Bloody nose, bloody mouth. It was a good time.
Sounds a lot more exciting than mine.
It was nuts. So I was there from Saturday we got up there, and then we just got back yesterday afternoon, and boy is it hot. Today was so hot.
Here?
Yeah, dude, it hit 115 degrees here.
That literally is a normal day in Arizona.
No. 115 is not normal anywhere. Actually, I take that back. 115 is normal for hell.
No, I mean, I lived in Yuma, man. Like 120 was like our peak. Yeah, no. Like 110 was like our normal.
That's too much.
Yeah. No, but I did swim on 4th of July, so that was cool.
Oh, there you go.
We had some really good. My sister made some sliders, man. Fire. But yeah.
Yeah, like every night we had an awesome dessert. My wife made desserts every night. We had a chocolate lava cake with vanilla ice cream. So good. And then on 4th of July, we had to have a red, white, and blue pie.
Had
So,
to.
yeah, you have to.
What was the flavor of this red, white, and blue pie?
So it was a all in one pan. It was cherry pie, and then it was blueberry, and then the white was ice cream. So it was amazing. I feel like I'm missing. Oh, and then she also made cookies, chocolate chip cookies, but she had like a cracked salt on top.
Who
And
is this?
boy, that
Who
was
made it?
my wife.
Okay.
She knows what she's doing.
I've had your wife's cookies before, like the little with the Oreo in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
And
The chocolate chip Oreo brownie.
let me tell you, ever since having one of her cookies that she's made, and she's made plenty before in the past, but she's good at cookies.
Mm-hmm.
But personally, I would pass. You know, like if it was there, I would pass on the cookie myself. You know?
What? No, you wouldn't. Nobody can pass on her cookie. I had like 20 of them when I shouldn't have. Yeah, see, 95. That's doable. But on this 115 business, it is too much.
Madness.
But let's get into our show tonight. We got some fun things to talk about. Not so fun things. There's not a whole lot of gaming news going on. So we're going to spend most of our show tonight talking about movies, upcoming projects that are coming out, as well as a TV show. We'll start off with Secret Invasion. So as you can tell by the title, Secret Invasion sucks. I'm curious to get your thoughts because, like I said last week, I fell asleep in the first episode.
Mm-hmm.
But give me your unadulterated thoughts.
Yeah. It is good. I have no quarrels with it whatsoever. The title literally is just clickbait, so I'm sorry to everybody that came in thinking it's gonna be some hot take. It's not gonna be. The show was good. They had me hooked the first 10 minutes in. The whole back and forth of like is it a scroll, is it not a scroll kind of a thing was
Mm-hmm.
like from the get go was good. Even down to like when they chase what's Ross
Yeah.
and they catch Ross, and the person chasing Ross is the good guy scroll, and the one that is
Yeah.
Ross is the bad guy. So really good. Just beginning to it, really like it drives home. In the first 10 minutes, it drives home the fact that like nobody you see on the screen can be trusted.
Mm-hmm.
So really good so far. I like where it's going. I have no issues. I'm telling you, zero. I have zero issues whatsoever with it. I'm trying to think if I have any kind of like complaints. I really don't. The whole when you get to episode 2, which you haven't, the whole like it doesn't feel world breaking. It does very quickly. So when you get to episode 2 and you finish it, you'll see why. Me and Steven have a fundamental disagreement, and since he's not here to defend himself, I'll go ahead and take the stage and say what it is.
Let's hear it.
He feels like I'm going to tell you the episode 2. You're 2 weeks too late, so
I'm all ears.
yeah. So in episode 2, sorry, let me do something real quick. So in episode 2, the scrolls, they impersonate a American. What's the word, like where you're like super super radical. Some American radicals that are like super against Russia, and they impersonate them and they bomb Russia. And it's the name of the group's called Americans Against Russia, AAR. So they pin on the Americans, this American extremist group. So it basically starts, the beginning of World War III. It also sparks the fact that the U.S. attacked first. So now all the allies that U.S. had, like, are pretty much gone. So, big implications there. Now, where Steven disagrees with me at is he feels that they didn't make it a big enough deal that the U.S. bombed Russia and that it wasn't some big thing. Even though after that there was conversations the whole time around to like, oh, World War III is about to break out. The U.S. must come answer for their crimes to the UN, and Rhodey goes out and does. And then it goes into the world powers that we're talking about. Uh, the world powers that were talking about the potential of starting World War III. So like one person that's like the big media person, right? Like the Tucker Carlson of like the world, for example. Then the guy that controls the UN, and then the Prime Minister of the UK, and then the like Prime Minister of India. So all the major powers are talking on TV about how this is a catalyst for World War III. And then they go on later on, and you see the main guy, Gravix. He meets with them, and they're all Skrulls as well. So literally, the Skrulls have all the major world powers under their control. So Steven feels like that wasn't driven home enough for some reason. And when you watch episode 2, I think you'll agree with me, but I don't know. And the thing that we got hung up on was that he felt Fury got fired for lying about the Skrulls.
Mm-hmm.
And I said that is true, but that wasn't the reason why he got fired. That's just on top of him starting World War III because he didn't tell anybody. So his thing was like, no, he got fired because he didn't tell anybody. My thing was like, if he didn't tell anybody and there wasn't a big bombing like this, he wouldn't have gotten fired. But
Right.
because there's a big bombing like this, it's going to start World War III. They have to fire him pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
By they, I mean the U.S. government. So that's what we have a big disagreement on.
So they kind of use Fury as the scapegoat. Like, oh, you knew.
Well, not publicly. The U.S. still declines everything.
Mm-hmm.
It's just internally they're like, hey, you knew about this, you didn't warn
Mm-hmm.
us, and now you're about to start World War III off of your back. You're gone, kind of a thing. He is of the assumption that if Fury lied about it, and let's say it was an American versus American that got shot, Fury would have been fired for lying anyway. I very much disagree with that because Rhodey and them know about the Skrulls. They just didn't know about what their plans were. So that's where disagreement's at. That's where it didn't get resolved really. He firmly believes that the objection of what the Skrulls bring to the table isn't big enough, which is fine. I can definitely see that because they don't harp on it too much in the second episode. The bombing happens, the scenes happen that Rhodey does, and then it's pretty much done with after that.
Mm-hmm.
So like I kind of understand like where he's coming from. Like in context of screen time related things, it's not a big deal, but when you surround the context with it, I think it is. So one of those things where like you kind of have to just know that it is a big deal versus like them making it a big deal on screen.
Yeah, and I mean, there's still plenty of time for events to unfold that make it bigger. I mean, we're only talking the second episode. But yeah, I mean, just from the first episode that I gathered, I think there's potential. I just think it's kind of coming out in like a weird time where it's like feels like there's a lot of dryness in shows, and I don't know. It seems weird. Like just movies in general right now. It feels like it's the off season, if you will, but it's summer. It
I
shouldn't.
disagree.
You disagree?
I disagree.
Like I specifically think like June. June is not like the movie time.
Well, not for you. You didn't go see Flash. You didn't go see Guardians. You didn't go see Elementals. That's your fault. That's not.
Yeah,
It's not fault of the
it's
cinema.
It's maybe my fault.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
but
missed out on the greatest MCU film that has ever come out, and then you missed out on.
in Guardians 3, the greatest.
I told you it's either the greatest or second greatest. It's like it's up there, and then you missed out on the greatest, Flash film to ever come out.
Yeah, that's a low bar.
I had to word that one carefully.
Yeah.
Then Elemental is really good too. The Pixar film that just came out. That's top
Yeah.
tier. It's weird because not that we're moving to this topic, just because I brought it up. It like it gets out of the cookie cutter Pixar formula
Mm-hmm.
of like two characters that are opposites meet. They go on an adventure. The adventure is the driving catalyst of the entire plot. At the end, they like each other. They focus heavily on the relationship part. Like the catalyst that they meet is like 20 minutes of the 2-hour film. It's really weird. Like it's still uniquely Pixar, but it's not their typical like format, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
So
I mean, that's kind of a fun topic to think about, though. So let's kind of dive in there. This isn't what we normally scheduled, what we were going to talk about, but it sparks the conversation of obviously Disney's struggling financially. Do you think it's because they're trying to do things differently, or? I mean, I think if you look back, I read an article. It was like the last 7 movies haven't recouped.
Differently how? What do you mean by differently?
I don't know, just trying different things. Like to your point, Elemental is outside of the Pixar formula,
Mm-hmm.
and it seems like the Pixar formula has been very successful.
It has been.
But now that they've done something different, is
So I don't think it's as much as they've lost their focus on the entertainment aspect of things. It's really hard to explain that, and this isn't even my words. So when I say this, people don't get mad. Bob Iger himself has acknowledged these things, and I was on one of the earnings calls that he had, like this last, I think in January actually. He talked on this topic very heavily because he agrees that they're not in a good spot for the shareholders, obviously.
right.
And the shareholders demand answers, and the shareholders are older people usually who have been invested in Disney for a very long time, so they have a right to say stuff. And again, Iger's the one who also touched on it. So let's be very blunt about this. They are going, or they were going, in a very woke direction, a very leftist direction, and it's very apparent. That obviously comes with some divisiveness, whether you believe in what they believe in or not. I think we can all agree that there's some aspects of it that are not family friendly. And even if we don't agree with that per se, we don't have to agree on it. You and I fundamentally, or whoever else agrees with it, disagrees with it.
Right.
The pockets speak for themselves, and Disney's hurting. So obviously, people that are watching Disney films don't want some of those things showed on screen. I'm not going to say specifically what it is because,
It's not
neither here nor
about that.
there. Yeah, the point is that things are being shown that they don't want to be shown, and Disney has lost sight of the story first mentality, where everything they did before in the past, every decision they made for a non-screen person, there was a driving force in the story for those things.
Right.
It didn't feel forced; it felt very natural usually. So, again, Iger himself has said this. So, there is going to be a pivot from what Iger has said to where they get back to being a family-friendly entertainment company before anything else. Again, these are Iger's words, not mine. So take it how you will. I think Elemental is a good step in the right direction. The things that people have concerns about are in that film, but they're not forced upon that film. It's very natural and very brief. So I think Iger said it best. They're going to go back to being a family-friendly entertainment business first, but they're also going to recognize that that their movies are going to replicate how the world is as well, which I agree with to a certain degree. Movies should reflect the world around us so we can relate to them. Things shouldn't be forced upon us if it doesn't make sense to the story. That's basically what he said, and that's what I agree with. So I think Disney makes a different change here, goes a different direction. You have to remember that these movies that are coming out this year in the last 2 or 3 years have been overseen by a CEO who just didn't care for the most part about the Disney fans at its core. Iger is a complete opposite from what we've been shown in the past. He very much cares about what the fans think and thinks the fans are the heartbeat of the company. So I think it's going to pivot a little bit. I think, and even down to the creators at Disney who have come out under the previous Bob Chapek's reign. They've said that they had no creative freedom across all their stories. A lot of the animators and major story guys quit because it just didn't feel like Disney anymore. So I think Iger's going to restore that a little bit. My concern is that Iger's not going to be there very long, and after that, someone has to take over. So
yeah, and I mean it's kind of the same Warner Brothers formula too, where when you get executives and inside the creative space and not letting the directors and the writers do their job, the product that is presented goes very, very south very, very fast.
Yeah.
And it stinks. It's like that's the whole point of a movie or music or any art form is someone to be able to express their vision that they're wanting to show.
Yeah,
and when somebody who's comes in with a business mindset, it's kind of interesting that this topic just naturally comes up because it was something that me and my wife were talking about over the weekend, is that typically when you have such a focus on the profitability or the financial in just business general, you typically see a drop in the experience for the employee, which then affects the customer or the person that you're trying to entertain. And then ultimately that comes back full circle and hurts the financial piece versus giving that creative freedom or focusing on a customer and an employee, or in this case, an artist, letting them be creative, you typically see projects that fans like more, which do better. I think a perfect example is Mario. Like Mario is the perfect amount of fan service that doesn't really have anything. We'll go there. Woke. If you're hearing that bird, that's probably me.
So you got a bird in your house?
Yeah, or bird sitting. Can't wait for that to be over.
Yo, of all the pets I ever heard of, I've never heard of someone bird sitting.
Yep. Well, it happens all too often. No, but anyways, back to what I was saying is, when you give the artist that creative freedom and control, you get great projects. And
yeah.
Obviously Into the Spider-Verse is another great one. Like that's for fans to enjoy. Which kind of transitions into something that we're going to talk a little bit later, but I think we're basically on this path already, which is the Dial of Destiny. So we have the new Indiana Jones movie.
Sure.
Yeah, and I think this is an important film for a couple reasons. I've kind of kept up with the behind the scenes on this film. So for those who don't know, Kathleen Kennedy is the CEO, president of Lucasfilm, and she is that our children? They better be sleeping. But she is kind of banking on this Dial of Destiny movie to do well, because if it doesn't, Disney is going to be cutting ties with her sooner rather than later, just because she hasn't had success in delivering movie financials basically since she stepped into that role. And if you think about what we've been talking about, she has been claimed to be that type of person to take away creative control and force different motives, different agendas, if you will. And it's caused very divisive, I don't know if I'm saying that right, divide within the community. So it's interesting. I was looking at some financials. So obviously this came out over the weekend, and you have a budget of 250 to 300 million, and the box office is at now 159.6 million. So I wanted to get your thoughts. Would you consider that to be a flop, or would you consider that to be acceptable?
It's a flop. You usually want to make you make the majority of your money back, if not all of it back in the first weekend.
Right.
But let me caveat this. I don't think it was necessarily Kathleen Kennedy's fault, unless she was the one that was like, this film needs to come out, because nobody in their right mind asked for this film. Nobody cares that Harrison Ford's coming back for a last Indiana Jones hurrah. Should have been his last 2 Indiana Joneses ago. It was set up to fail.
I don't even think he really wanted to come back.
Yeah, so that's the thing too. That's the third part here, because he had said he didn't want to come back in the first place, but then he saw how good the de-aging was and how good the script was. So my thing is, like, I'm wondering if this is a translation of this movie being bad or no one wanting to see the movie. It's very different, right? Because if Harrison Ford's a good actor who knows a good script, and him coming back and saying, "Oh, I came back because the script was so good and because they could de-age me properly," I want to believe him. But I also like the numbers. I've seen no one talk about this film.
Right.
I've seen no one like that I know seen this film. And I follow like a lot of industry people because I'm very into film. I've seen nothing about this other than its poor box office performance, and that's like a sad. I just don't know what the translation is. And the thing is, like, I don't even know if I'm gonna go see it, because like we got 2 films coming out pretty soon that we'll touch on as well. And there's just other things I want to watch right now that like are taking me away from the theater currently until those 2 films, which we'll touch on. So I don't know if I'm going to see it. Maybe I'll see it on Disney Plus. No, it doesn't help the box office numbers at all. But I'm just curious if this is a bad film or if this is just like a film. No, if it's a demand thing. We didn't want this film, so we're not going to see it. Or like, hey, this film sucks and nobody go see it. You know what I mean? I don't know which one
Yeah.
it is, but
I mean, the reviews, both critic and um, just people, like IMDb's got it at a 6.1 out of 10. Usually anything under a 7 is like not good. Rotten Tomatoes has it at a 69%. So I think technically that's I don't know if that falls in like their booger category.
Booger, is that what it's not?
It
Booger,
kind
it's
of looks.
rotten. It's rotten.
Sure,
That's
it looks like boogers, and it should be boogers.
it's either certified fresh or rotten. There ain't no boogers.
Boogers. I'm just kind of looking at reviews, but the first one that comes up, and it's funny because this person gave it 5 stars, but says it's a forgettable adventure packed with thrills. But yet 5 stars. Interesting. Yet again, a thrilling adventure that takes you on a journey. I feel like that's like the same person that's writing it.
Yeah.
But so this movie is interesting to me for a couple reasons, and I love the point of, you know, who asked for this movie. I think even the first 3, you have 2 of the 3 that are really good, and then you have the Temple of Doom that's kind of weird.
Mm-hmm.
But the Crystal Skull was just like so not Indiana Jones.
Mm-hmm.
And then, you know, to your point, who's asking for a 5th? Or so in my opinion, I think they looked at, okay, what do we have branding wise that's done well in the past that, you know, maybe old time fans could get behind. And I think they almost thought that they'd be able to do what Star Wars Episode 7 did.
No, never.
No, I don't think it would have, but I think they were wanting that hype of, oh, it's coming back. But here's where I think,
but Indy was never Star Wars.
It doesn't matter. I think they were still thinking this is an easy cash grab.
Yeah, I mean, maybe.
But here's where I think they kind of fumbled and just kind of flopped all over the place. And I think we've talked about this at least once on our podcast before, but the marketing of this movie was atrocious. In the fact that I don't remember even seeing, like, I remember when the first trailer came out and that was it. And then it was like, oh, by the way, this is coming out in a week. And it's like, what?
That's how I felt too.
Like, and it's so surprising. Like, if all this behind the scenes, like Kathleen Kennedy's career is hinging upon this one movie, don't you think she put like all of her eggs in one basket? Or is it to the point where she just is like acknowledging, like waving the white flag, I'm probably out?
I don't know. But she needs to be out. Who cares?
Yeah.
Who cares? That's what it comes down to. This isn't a film. Okay, this isn't like the next Star Wars film where it's like people care about the quality of it. It's Indiana Jones, and it's the one that no one asked for. Who cares if it flops, and who cares if, like, that's my thing, is like, it might be, who cares if she gets fired, except for her and her family. And I'm not saying like a non-humane way, like
Right.
humane way, like I wish her the best, but you don't deserve this job. You've been terrible at it.
Mm-hmm.
So 1, who cares if she gets fired? 2, who cares if this film is bad? Be honest. Who cares if this Indiana Jones film was bad? All 10 of you on Reddit that like Indiana Jones, like, who cares?
I mean, the thing is, the bar was not very high from the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. Like,
right. I'm with you. Get
it
her out.
doesn't make sense. Why? Why this? But it's I don't know. It's just baffling that, like, yeah, truly, that could have been such great storytelling, and then it just got left on the table. But let's not go down that path, because we will literally talk about what could have been.
It's not one of those episodes. We'll save it for Ahsoka.
Yeah. All right. So let's transition a little bit into actual filmmakers who like making films and who are good at making films. And who better to talk about a person who's good at making films and enjoys making films than Christopher Nolan himself.
Christopher Nolan.
Oh man. So I'm getting pretty hyped for this movie. I saw a clip where he's standing in front of this huge just amount of film, and he said, this is Oppenheimer. Like, here it is.
Before you continue on, Why do you keep saying Oppenheimer?
I don't know. Isn't that what it's called?
It's Oppenheimer.
Oppenheimer. Oppenheimer is
No.
there a difference?
Yeah.
What's the difference?
Okay, imagine somebody's name is Aubrey. And you say Aubrey. That just doesn't sound right. It's Oppenheimer.
I didn't hear any difference.
Oh, goodness.
Okay, say it again. I will try to match your dialect.
Okay, everything's the same except for the O.
Oppenheimer.
Oppenheimer. Yes.
But isn't that like an A sound?
OPP? Op? All my ops?
Oppenheimer.
Black Ops 3?
I guess so.
Oppenheimer.
Yeah.
Oppenheimer? What is this guy talking about? It's not Oppenheimer. It's Oppenheimer.
I'm pretty. I thought I was saying Oppenheimer.
It's not Oppenheimer. It's Oppenheimer. How does Christopher Nolan say it?
Let's look.
Yeah, I'm not gonna. How do you pronounce Oppenheimer? How do you pronounce? Yeah, look it. It's 2 A's. Oppenheimer. I'm saying it perfectly. Let me share my screen real quick.
Let me hear this.
It's not Oppenheimer. You guys drive me nuts calling it Oppenheimer.
Oppenheimer. Yeah, I did the Google.
Look.
It's Oppenheimer.
Can we see it? Look, let's hear it though. Oh, wait.
Oppenheimer.
Oh, Oppenheimer.
Oppenheimer.
Yeah, it's perfectly how he said it, pretty much.
Oh, dude. Yeah. All right.
Oppenheimer.
We'll agree to disagree.
Yeah, sure. Continue what you were saying about the film. Oppenheimer.
I don't even know where I was going anymore. He caught me off guard. Oppenheimer. I like Oppenheimer. Anyways, so I saw this clip of Christopher Nolan talking about Oppenheimer, and he is showing just all the film, and he's known for cell. What do they call it? IMAX cells.
I don't know what they're called, but
isn't that what it's? I think it's something like
some macro level of editing that's
Yeah.
specific to IMAX is what he's talking about.
Yep. And so it's really cool. And what I think you have the actual length of
Yeah, it is 11 miles. Let me see.
11 miles.
So Oppenheimer, and this isn't just IMAX. I'll get into like why I'm so excited for this film. But it's an 11-mile long, 600-pound projector reel. So it's just a massive reel of film. But it's not just the IMAX versions. Like if you're going to like an IMAX theater, it's not even the correct theater to watch this version in. Christopher Nolan did 3 different things with this film, which is just like so extra, but like it's probably going to be so great. Mm-hmm. One, he intentionally filmed some scenes in black and white and some scenes in color. I think the color ones are supposed to like add dramatic effect to like the importance of that shot specifically. So we're going to see in the film like it go from black and white to color, and it'll be during points of emphasis it's going to change, and like it's going to take you through different kind of like feeling at the time. So I imagine like it's going to be black and white, say leading up to the Big Bang, and then the Big Bang's going to be like color, which is going to be freaking awesome. That's the first thing.
The SpongeBob clip of the guy going, "My eyes."
Yeah, exactly. That's the first thing. The second thing is that he shot different scenes in different aspect ratios.
Yeah.
So throughout the film, it's going to change aspect ratios, and he did an aspect ratio that's so like intensely shot and so like detailed that only certain IMAX theaters that have like 70 millimeter, like 15 aperture kind of thing, are able to watch it. So it's only like 2 in like all of Phoenix. Mm-hmm. So it's gonna be freaking great. I'm getting into a dangerous territory where I'm like I might be like hyping myself for this film, and it might just like bomb. But at the end of the day, forget the rest of the cast. At the end of the day, Cillian Murphy's the main character. Mm-hmm. It can't be bad. No. It can't be bad.
No, and here's the thing, like if there's anybody that can live up to hype, it's this man. Like this man knows how to do it. I think, in my opinion, Tenet got overhyped, but then when I saw it, it was like I'm all for it. I'll
Tenet's
watch
good.
it. Yeah. But I mean, this one, it's 30 minutes longer than Tenet, which Tenet felt really long, at 2.5
That's true.
hours. So this
That's
is
true.
a solid 3-hour movie. So we're talking Lord of the Rings, not the extended version, but just the regular theatrical version. One of the things that I will say is I love when directors take advantage of different aspect ratios. There we go. So it's not like a new thing that he's doing. Like this isn't groundbreaking, but a really good example is The Life of Pi, and specifically when you think about changing the aspect ratio, there's that scene where there's the tuna and the flying fish, and the aspect ratio changes to fit the full screen, and it
opens up.
it gives you this 3D effect where the fish are flying through your top and bottom bars, and as it's happening, the screen's gradually getting wider and wider until you're just like so immersed in it that you didn't even realize that it happened, but you're like, why did that feel like why did it feel like I get sucked into the movie? And so I'm really excited to see this, and I'm hoping he uses like a lot of really wide angle just to get the scope of how massive explosions we're talking about.
Yes.
I think he's got enough creative vision to be able to nail that kind of stuff, and it's so cool because and this is something that you don't necessarily get in Star Wars. Selective Star Wars you get. I think of like Rogue One. I love shots where it gives you scale. So like there's that scene above Jeddah where they have the Star Destroyer just hovering above it, and you get the size comparison of how big those ships are above a city. And so I love that movies can be cinematic like that, or they can be story oriented. And I feel like Christopher Nolan is really good at doing both.
Yeah. Yes.
There's that one movie. Why am I drawing a blank? It's his. I'd probably say it's one of his less appreciated movies. Dunkirk.
Dunkirk.
I feel like that had some awesome cinematic shocks.
I saw the movie in theaters in the first like 20 minutes of it just being like them not talking. I was like, they're not talking. But I freaking love this so far. It's so weird. Yeah. I mean, he made Harry Styles into an actor, right? So I mean, did something right. So before we move on to the next big film, you brought up Rogue One, and I want to just bring it up real quick to you because I know we agree on Rogue One. Did you know not everybody agrees with us on Rogue One? People in this chat, I'm not going to point them out, legitimately think Rogue One's not good.
Really?
Like, not just like not good, like trash.
No, I think it's some of the best Star Wars we've gotten in a long time.
I think it's the best Star Wars film, period.
Hold on.
Besides Revenge of the Sith. And maybe Empire Strikes Back.
Maybe Star Wars Episode 1.
Okay, so you want to take us on to the next movie before we get crazy here?
All right, so the next movie, I mean, if we're talking contrast, we got Barbie coming.
Complete contrast.
Complete contrast. What your thoughts are?
Okay.
One, if you're gonna see this in the theaters,
it's a yes already.
And I look at this movie and I don't know how to react. I don't know if it's like gonna try to take itself serious. If it's not, they could go so many directions with this movie.
Okay.
So tell me your thoughts.
Yeah.
Should I see it? Convince me to go see it in the movie.
Okay, I will. I will convince you. So listen, I thought what you thought at first as well, right? It's a Barbie film. It's for kids. Okay. And then I saw the trailer. And the first minute of the trailer is them being goofy, doing kiddie stuff. The moment she gets to the real world things happen. As in, like, she gets her ass slapped immediately. So that's already going to take on an adult tone as well. And then she starts appreciating the world for what it is and starts crying about it. It's to me, it's looking more and more like it's going to be one of those films where it's like adulty, like the plot is going to be like actually like a deep full meaning plot, but it's gonna have kid jokes in it because with Will Ferrell's in it and everything like that. But
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Margot Robbie signs up for a pure comedic film with no kind of substance in the film whatsoever. And furthermore, let's talk about the director, Greta Gerwig.
Mm-hmm.
She made I don't know, Lady Bird, Little Women. She's not like a comedic. Even when she was acting, she wasn't a comedic actress per se. She's a movie person. She makes good, deep thought, usually indie films that are like Oscar nomination kind of plots. So I think she's gonna stick true to herself, but like do something different. I think to me it's weird. As soon as I heard Greta Gerwig is making a
Mm-hmm.
Barbie film, I was like, what is she doing? And then I saw the trailer. I'm like, okay, maybe she has something going on here. I
Mm-hmm.
think it's gonna be one of those things where it surprises everybody, and it's gonna be like actually a good, legitimately good movie. Like, it's gonna take itself serious. It's gonna have a serious plot point, or at least serious plot emphasis points as well. Um, but it's gonna have some comedy in it as well. I don't know. I'm excited. I'm excited to see it, and I'm so excited. And you're gonna be mind blown now that I don't know which one to see first. I don't know if I want to go see Barbie first or Oppenheimer first. I'm thinking on that Friday, I'm waking up, I'm calling out from work, 11 a.m. watching Oppenheimer, and then like 6 p.m. watching Barbie. But it
That's commitment.
it looks good, dude. I'm not gonna lie, it looks good.
So it's so interesting because like the synopsis is pretty short, but then the category, the genre, is adventure comedy fantasy.
Uh-huh.
So I don't know. It just feels like this is all over the place. But personally, I'm skeptical of it. But
It's
yeah,
Greta Gerwig, dude. It can't be bad.
I know. I'm just looking at the cast right now. Like you got John Cena in there.
Well, I mean, that's a brief one. It's gonna be a brief.
Do you think so?
I think Dua Lipa's in it too, isn't he? Okay.
Yeah.
Hold on. Okay, so it's supposed to be a fantasy type film, right? According to the category.
Yes.
Okay, check it out. Just came out today. That Netflix's Narnia has enlisted director Greta Gerwig. Maybe the fantasy part is actually pretty heavy and pretty good.
But I don't. You think Netflix has already pre-screened this?
I think yes. Yeah, it comes out in like 3 weeks. The pre-screens happened already.
A doll living in Barbie Land is expelled for not being perfect enough and sets off on an adventure in the real world. I don't know, man. I feel like this movie is just gonna be crazy.
Crazy good.
Maybe.
Dude, she made Lady Bird and Little Women. Like her last 2 films were like Oscar level, like deep meaning films.
Mm-hmm.
Like she's not just gonna cut that out just to dive headfirst into like non-serious fantasy films. I'm telling you, there's gonna be like some like beauty behind
What?
the film.
Oh no, I guess I didn't know that he was in that. They got Mr. Shang-Chi in there too.
Simu Liu? Yeah, he's like he's one of the Barbie people.
One of the Kens.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Yeah. I mean, I'm gonna have to watch what the reviews are like. Watch us be like nominated for Best Picture of the Year.
Listen, you might, and because we do the shows on Thursdays, you might hear me talk about it the day it comes out. I might watch it like day one, then Oppenheimer the next day. But
yeah,
I don't know. I don't know how you're not excited about this.
I just don't. It's hard to see like, and maybe this is what this movie is all about. But it's hard to look at this movie and say there's going to be substance to it. But I mean, to your point,
she cried.
This director is known for substance.
I'm telling you, Greta Gerwig is going to pull it out.
I just don't know how. I really don't.
And she's going to manifest all her energy, and she's going to pull it out. All right.
You think it's going to get nominated for Best Picture?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. But I think it'll be like a serious film. Like, I don't know how to explain it. Might win Best Wardrobe.
Yeah. It's so yeah. We got to move on because my brain's hurting from just even trying to comprehend what this movie is going to be about. I don't even know. Okay, so let's keep on this theme of movies. We haven't gotten a lot of information, but we know Deadpool 3 is not being toned down whatsoever. In fact, it's probably safe to say that why am I drawing his blank?
Ryan Reynolds.
Ryan Reynolds, there you go. I don't know why Gosling was still stuck in my head. Is gonna double down and make this just the absolutely bonkers, outrageous, wild, now MCU film. I know we don't have a lot, but tell me your thoughts.
Good. The guy that plays Dopinder,
Everything that should be in a
the guy that played Dopinder, he's the one that's come out and said that it's heavily rated R, not like kind of rated R. They used the F-bomb for the second time in the MCU. No, like heavily rated R. Like he said nothing's changed. Now, good, because one, us MCU fans, we're adults now. Like the kids. The thing is, okay, the kids that are young enough now to watch the MCU, they shouldn't be anyway, starting like here. They go back, they grow up and watch the other ones like we did, kind of a thing. Maybe not like all spread out the way we did, but they at least like gradually get like more grittier, more substance. But I think Secret Invasion and Guardians 3, which you haven't seen yet, are proof that like the MCU needs these adult films, not these little kiddie films anymore. Secret Invasion, okay, so today I was like scrolling through Disney Plus and the poster came up, Secret Invasion, like on the top banner, and it was Talos with the gun in his hand. And I was like, Disney is showing a gun on their banner on Disney Plus. Thank you. Like the MCU is here. So I'm all for it. Deadpool should be rated R, or at least like teetering rated R. But when you bring Hugh Jackman in as well, who's like can be off the rails Wolverine, and that's why he came back. You have to make it like heavy rated R. I'm really excited to see like. The rumor is that the TVA is upset that Ryan Reynolds, Deadpool, has gone back in time and messed with everything, as we saw in the last film. It's a perfect segue and a perfect way to introduce him to the MCU. The TVA is like, hey, this guy's messing up. Yeah, exactly. So I think that'd be great, and I think that we saw glimpses of like how harsh a show could be with the TVA in it, which is Loki. Not your kid show. It isn't like the most adulty thing in the world, but it's also not a kid show. So if we're gonna do that and make it like more extreme, and have like Ryan Reynolds cussing throughout the MCU, and yeah, I'm on board. I'm excited for it. I'm also hearing that Hugh Jackman's not done after this film, for the record. I've also heard number 3. The third thing is that this film is what's going to cause the expansion of the mutants in a few years. So we'll see where it goes. But I'm excited for it. I'm just glad it's rated R like it's supposed to be. That was everyone's fear when Deadpool first came out in the first place, that it needs to be this rated R film. And Fox is like, okay, we'll do it. And then move to MCU, or like, okay, like this has worked.
No,
don't do it. Don't ruin anything.
I don't think Ryan Reynolds would have let it happen.
I don't think so either.
Like, this is his baby. Yeah, this is his baby.
The question is, how long did we get him for with him having Wrexham? He owns that club now for soccer that like just got promoted. He's like all in over, like he's a businessman now, and like I'm like, man, we're gonna lose him to business.
No, he was made for this Deadpool role.
But for how long?
Easily,
and honestly,
15 years.
It's not like his voice isn't hard to replicate. You can definitely like have an impersonator just kind of sit behind the mask.
Give it the old Pedro.
Yeah. But
just have him come in and do the lines.
Literally. Yeah. So I'm excited though.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited too. The fact that he pulled Hugh Jackman out of retirement, and it sounds like Hugh Jackman is contemplating on staying out of retirement when he was very clear, like, I'm done. This is my last go at it. Like, It sounds like it's gonna be a good time, but we will see. I don't know about you, but I'm getting kind of sleepy. You getting sleepy?
Good. Just talk about that. Stop the segues.
Let's get to the segue.
Stop the segues, okay? That's gotta be a natural. You have to like at least yawn or something. Don't just like, hey, you know what? I'm getting sleepy.
I'm going to bed. Oh, it's okay. We're good. We're good. Anyways,
segues.
that
No
was my
segues.
segue to the next iteration. Another Pokemon exclusive. I don't know if you've heard about this. Pokemon Sleep.
Yes.
What
yes,
is
yes.
it? Why would anyone do this? What? So
Do
basically,
you know what it is?
yeah, I know what it is.
Go ahead, explain to the crowd.
So this is an upcoming sleep tracking game that you put your Pokemon Go or Pokemon Plus, whatever that little Pokeball thing that people carry around catching Pokemon, and it maps out how you're sleeping. And based on that, you gain certain things depending on your sleep. Snorlax is your companion, as it should be, because Snorlax is the sleepy Pokemon. What have I missed? Have I missed anything?
How it tracks it?
It's sleep,
What do you
like
have
the different types of sleep. Like if
No,
it's
but like you have to like put it by your pillow. It's gonna like listen to like.
yeah, I thought I said that.
Oh, did you say that? I didn't hear
Yeah.
you. Sorry.
You take
Apologies.
No, you're good. I'm just trying to make sure I didn't miss anything. You got me. Yeah, like it's gonna measure different types of sleep cycles. I don't know. This is like it's weird.
Let's get to the question we asked about Indiana Jones. Who wanted this? What is this?
So the weird thing is like whatever it was 2017, 2016, 2015, whenever Pokemon Go came out, it was like I don't want to go and walk. And they were like, no, this is really good for you. This is a good way to get exercise. And now they're all like, here's a good way to sleep.
Yeah, stay home.
Get in bed.
Yeah.
Uh,
But why? Is it Niantic still?
I believe so.
I need to understand why.
Snooze, Love, and Snorlax.
Do people even use sleep apps like that in the first place?
I don't understand. Like I don't ever wear my Apple Watch to bed.
I just don't. I guess what I don't understand is, I know when I have good sleep and when I don't. Like I don't have to have someone like spoon feed me that information. I wake up very tired and very groggy because I had bad sleep, or I don't. Like it's not to like over here like diagnosing me with something that can fix my sleep issues. Like it's just telling me, hey, you have sleep issues. Like I know I have sleep issues. How do I fix these sleep issues? Like I don't need you to tell me that. So like I just don't get exactly what he said. One nightmare and your Pokemons are gone. You're one sleep paralysis demon away from just Pokedex being cleared out completely. But I just don't. And to add the caveat on top of that, like why do I want to earn Pokemon while I'm sleeping?
So,
like,
yeah,
is this just like you? Okay, this is gonna sound like really naive to the Pokemon lovers out there, and I apologize to y'all if it does. Are you just sleeping and like getting Pokemon like spawn into like this app so you can look at them, or like are they actually like at least Pokemon Go? You can like fight, you can train, you can like earn coin, current stuff like that. Are you like? Are you just sleeping and then like you get like a virtual, like not even NFT, just a virtual card that means nothing?
Here's what they need to do. This is like Pokemon meets ASMR. So like you sleep and then you get your Pikachu, and then the next night your Pikachu is whispering soft nothings into your ear. Just imagine falling asleep too. Pikachu. Pikachu.
Pika,
Oh,
Pika, Pika.
Oh no.
Yeah, I just don't. If there's like an actual game aspect to this, like where I can wake up and I can like then use my Pokemon to fight people and stuff, and I can up. Let's say like I have a sleep chamber I can put him into, like the hyperbolic chamber from like Dragon Ball Z, and like while I sleep, they like power up more the better I sleep, and I can like use them to fight later on. Like I was a crazy Machamp because he just like I had good sleep like the last week. That'd be cool, but like I just don't understand that. It's like, hey, I'm falling asleep now. I'll put the Pokemon app up,
Yeah.
and when I wake up, I'm gonna get a Snorlax that does nothing. You know what I mean? I just it ain't for me. Is what I'm trying to say. It ain't for me. And some of y'all sleep too much anyway. Wake the hell up.
Yeah. I was gonna say I'm probably gonna be good at this game.
Yeah, you're basically Snorlax.
Thank you.
Except he's skinnier.
Yeah. Like, imagine coming out with like interactive plushies that you sleep with.
Why? I've seen Black Mirror. I don't need to see this in real life. I don't need to see the monkey needs a hug in real life.
I mean, it's Pokemon, so I know it's gonna do well. I just don't understand. Like, what are they?
Okay, let me say something real quick. I don't think it's gonna do well.
You don't think so?
No, it's gonna get 1 million or like however many millions of downloads in the first month, and then like in a year we're gonna have the same thing. That game that came out, like that was kind of like Pokemon Go, where it's just like, oh, we don't have enough support or activity to keep this going, therefore we're gonna cut it. Like Niantic needs to just focus on what they're good at, which is Pokemon Go and making that better.
Yeah.
Just you have something, run with it. Stop this other stuff.
I'm telling you, man, this is gonna do so well. Not only is it gonna do so well, the Pokemon community is gonna become some of the healthiest people on the planet.
No, they're
'Cause
not.
now they're gonna be walking and they're gonna be sleeping more. Next thing you know, there's gonna be Pokemon bank account, where
Dude.
basically you give it your bank account and the Pokemon take money out of your
Dude,
account.
Listen, the amount of BO in the air is going to be crazy. They're going to wake up and walk for 10 hours, not shower so they can get their sleep in, so they can get enough sleep to get this Pokemon. Wake up and walk again for another 10 hours and rinse and repeat. So no rinsing, just repeating.
You imagine the person who wakes up early, checks their phone and realizes they've only slept for 2 hours, and then a cold sweat comes over their entire body because they can't get their shiny Machamp now because they woke up, and then they'll have the hardest time falling back to sleep to where they're going to be popping like an unsafe amount of melatonin, which puts them into a coma for 10 years. It's gonna be
Hey,
great.
but if you're asleep for 10 years that deep, it's all, hey, all the shinies, you got them all, buddy. At that point.
You got the shiny Mewtwo with the armor.
Yes. You indeed do.
All new Pokesoap. It's perfect. They're setting it up.
Yeah.
It's gonna be. You know what they're aiming for? They're trying to get rid of Dr. Squatch.
Dr. Sasquatch?
Yeah, Pokesoap is gonna take over.
Pokesoap, I promise you, Pokesoap is never gonna happen.
It'll be a connectable bar of soap that the more vigorously you wash yourself in the shower,
The harder you scrape.
yeah, the more skin that comes off of your body,
Oh gosh.
the higher the level that you get.
Listen. These people that are buying these Pokemon things need help. They need help.
Look, listen to this. Additionally, the game introduces unique sleep styles for Pokemon, offering a chance to obtain rare variants of a familiar creature, akin to the coveted shiny Pokemon. We're sleeping for shinies. And you know what's going to be awesome?
Far. It's gone too far.
There's going to be people that are streaming on Twitch of them sleeping.
Listen to me, okay? Listen, I'm going to look at the camera and say this. All you Pokemon lovers out there, okay? Ash Ketchum did not win his tournament finally for you to do this, okay? Ash showered every day. Ash slept just fine without his Pokemon growing. He went and hunted properly, Pokemon Go, and he won, okay? You know what Ash didn't do? What you're doing now. Sitting here doing nothing. He got up. He stayed in shape. More importantly, not that I did, but I'm not a Pokemon lover. Okay.
You know what else Ash Ketchum did with his Pokemon?
If it's something crazy, I don't want to hear it.
He slept with them.
You're a sick man.
That Pikachu was
You're a
never
sick
in the
man.
ball. Not like that. I'm just saying he was sleeping
Like what?
and they were sleeping.
Not like what?
No, we're not going there.
Going where?
Don't try. Stop it.
Just saying that Pikachu, man, really, put his life on the line a lot for nothing. Like, he just happened to be the most loyal Pikachu you could find. There's no other Pikachu that's that loyal.
He earned it. He saved that Pikachu. So I'm reading this. This innovative game is unlike any other as it rewards players for the numbers of hours they sleep. I can't even get through it. Allowing them to catch rare Pokemon without any need for extensive grinding, exploration, or skill. I mean, this says it all. This is for the Pokemon lover who loves to hate Pokemon.
It basically said, you lazy mother effers who don't want to get into catching Pokemon, here you go. Welcome to our world.
Extensive grinding, exploration, or skill. Like, I don't know. This one, I have a feeling it's going to do really well.
Why do you think that? I'll be honest with you. I think
It's
for the
Pokemon.
first 2 months it'll do well. I agree with you there. Okay, I think it'll get a ton of downloads, everything like that. But big but here, it's gonna die. It's gonna die, dude. Sorry, the Harry Potter game. Oh, it's Harry Potter. You can go do stuff in the real world, and it died.
It's great.
It died.
It's still great.
Is it still great? Because it's not even supported or on the platform anymore. No, it's not great.
It's still great. All right, let's get to some fun. I think those are all of our topics for tonight. Let's make sure I didn't miss any. No, we're good. Let's hand it over to the game master. We aren't going to be having an expert because we don't have one here tonight. So let's go straight into the game. I'm curious to see what you got for us tonight.
So there's only 2 of us, so I had a pivot, and it's an emergency pivot.
Please tell me.
So it's just going to be a draft. Nothing crazy. But it's going to be a draft that's like not like your typical draft.
Okay.
The topic, and I can change the topic, but this is just what I thought of so far. The topic is the best alternative name for money. And I'm going to share my screen. It's going to have an Excel sheet with my name and your name on top. That's going to be our draft list. And it's going to have the words for, money. We'll go from there. Let me share my screen real quick. Share screen.
So is this like words that can be used for money? Like,
it's like direct sentence. Look at you see them?
Okay, yeah.
So I will go first since I'm the best.
Nice.
And I'm gonna this is like to me it's the easiest one. Okay, he's the OG. He's been here forever. He's been here since the beginning of time. And oh, by the way, if he's not on this list, you can also pick not off this list if you want. Anyway, so the OG A1 since day one. I'm going with Doe.
Doe is a good one. Give me that Doe.
Number 1 pick.
I don't see it on here, but I feel like it should be on there. It should be. Give me those Benjamins.
The Benjis? Okay. The Benjamins. Only because your kid's name's Benjamin, so I mean I get it.
Exactly.
But it doesn't mean it's the best name. All right, I'm surprised you didn't take the big thing, the big Kahuna Tuna. All right, ain't nobody say, "Give me some money." They say, "Give me $20."
$20.
I'm taking bucks. I'm taking bucks.
I was gonna go for bucks. Let's see. I think I'm gonna go with
some of these names out here are freaking weird. Wumpa.
Yeah. That one does call to me.
I'm sure it does.
But I'm gonna have to go with cash.
Cash,
Specifically,
free cash. Free cash is pretty good. Free cash. All right, I'm gonna go with another OG in the game. He averages 50 a night. You know, he's a solid. He's a solid. You know, he ain't no batting 1,000, but he'll get you like a .3. He'll get you on the bases when you need him to. I'm gonna say, yo man, you got any coin? Taking my coin.
Interesting. I don't feel that one's that great. I'm gonna go dinero. Give me the dinero.
Dinero.
It's a good one. I don't think that one's on there. Oh, whoa! You didn't tell me there was a scroll down.
I told you if it's not in here, you can just kind of do it yourself. And
Whoa!
all right, it's fallen long enough. I think. I feel like a freaking goober for even picking this, but
Please say it.
man. Actually, no. There's one. There's the goat on here, and we didn't even realize this is the goat. I speak bread, and right now, and I hear you speaking to me. Give me the bread.
Bread is good. I will raise your bread with a. Give me that cheddar.
The cheddar cheese.
The cheddar
cheese. Give me some of that cheddar. All right, hold on. Cheddar cheese.
There we go. Scroll down a little bit. Let me see. Chips. Do people say chips?
Listen, man. I'm surprised Shekels is even on here.
Yeah.
Peanuts. Peanuts is pretty good, like when you're broke.
Yeah. Got nothing but peanuts, my man.
Oh, Dead Presidents is really good.
Oh, yeah. That one, I just looked at that too.
All right. Well, listen. I didn't see how many rounds we're going, huh?
Nope.
Yeah, I think we'll go like 7.
All right.
7 rounds.
So we got 2 more? No, 3
Two more. 3 more. So I'm gonna go with one that's on here. And again, I feel like a goob saying it, but I kind of have to. It's just a classic. You know, your dad's dad would say it. Your dad probably says it as well. Let me see the moolah.
Dang it.
Let me see
Is
the
it moolah with an A or is it moolah with an H? Oh,
H for sure.
I literally was gonna pick moolah with an H on this next one. Scroll back down. What's
Scroll back down.
pelf? I've never heard pelf in my life.
Pelf. Let's look at it. Let's see. This is Mary Wilson. Something customarily used as a mean change measured by your means. Okay, so it's just money. Pelf as in money.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, Shekels is there, man.
It is.
Money order.
Yeah, that's so dumb.
Banquo's pretty good. Dead Presidents is pretty good too, though.
I don't see this one here, but put fat stacks on there.
Fat stacks.
That's right.
Fat stacks. I should do 3 X's.
Fat stacks.
Fat stacks. Fat stacks. Fat stacks.
Ooh, I know my next one.
Opulence. Petty cash. Bomb. Dibs.
Don't say it.
Boodle. King's Ransom's fire too.
Yo, can you hit me up with 20 King's Ransom?
Let me get a King's Ransom for that. Bill's pretty good.
Bill is pretty solid.
Is Bucks is on. I got Bucks, right?
You got Bucks.
Okay. Is the hip hop one on here? I don't see it. They make her dance though, if you know what I mean.
All right, keep going down. I lost the one that I was really excited about.
Paycat. I'm gonna go with bands. Band to make a dance. Band to make a dance. Band to make. Oh, Keck said it in the chat. Read my mind, Keck. Read my mind, Mr. Yoda.
So this one's pretty solid, especially when you're dropping a huge amount of money and it means nothing to you. What do you say? Chump change.
Chump change.
Chump change.
Chump change. It fits you because you're a chump. Wait, one more. This is the last round, right? Last round.
Mm-hmm.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm gonna be honest. I think I'm smacking you. I think besides cheddar cheese,
cheddar cheese. That was pretty good.
I think I have it in the bag right now.
Nah, Fat Stacks is good too.
Yeah, maybe. Man, I like gold, but like, do I like gold? You know, got $20. Can I borrow $20? I'm trying to think. Dude, Shekels keeps calling my name. I don't know why.
Shekel's pretty good.
Shekels.
I don't know why, but I like envision like change, like actual coins for shekels.
Shekels. Yeah, like a gold
Yeah.
shekel, like a doubloon.
Yeah.
Dude, I don't know, man. This is hard. I think bankroll. Honestly, you know what? You have Benjamin, so I have to just take them all. Give me dead prezzies. Give me dead presidents.
How would you go and
Look,
say that?
listen, I'm gonna go ahead and say something to you right now about dead presidents. All right. Nobody has ever said dead presidents before. Okay.
Mhm.
But it just sounds so cool when I write it down.
Dead presidents.
Dead
scroll down.
presidents.
Scroll.
Shoestring. Earth. Might. Dibs.
Dibs. I
Petty.
just saw dibs.
Hey, petty cash is pretty good.
But you know what's calling my name? Give me some of that boodle.
What?
Boodle.
This?
Boodle.
What is what does that even mean?
Boodle.
Usually spawn where a person is considered as a unit.
How is that money?
A boodle of teachers boarded the bus together.
Oh no.
So boodle just lost you the game because
no.
that's literally a small amount of money. You got little pockets, what you're telling me.
Jay-Z has a song called Dead Presidents.
Yeah, that's a song. And Jay-Z hasn't said it since then.
Was it ever said prior to this song?
I don't think so.
Moolah's pretty solid.
Let's zoom in because I'm pretty sure I won this. I can't
Moolah's
zoom in.
pretty.
I can't zoom in. So let's highlight this.
Just
Let's
make it
do
bigger.
22. There we go.
There you go.
All right. So I took Doe. You took Benjamins. That's a good first round. This is where I think I pull it right here is Bucks.
I
Bucks
don't know,
is a
man.
good one.
Cash is pretty good.
Cash is all right. You know
$20
what I'm saying?
though. Yeah,
The
20
thing is,
bucks.
though, the thing is, no one carries cash anymore. You know, so it's like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like $20. You know, hey, come borrow $20. Come borrow $10. Just flows so easily.
Give me $5.
You give me a whole $5. You know, $5. Coin and De Niro. I think De Niro's pretty good.
That's good.
Coin's one of those things where it's like, yo, you got any coin? But like De Niro's like, yo, man, yo tengo dinero, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Bread, cheddar. This is where the round gets sticky because
They're both so good.
they're both so good. So good. So bread and cheddar cheese. Moolah, fast. I beat you in Moolah, bro. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Moolah wins.
I'm sorry.
I wanted Moolah so bad.
Bands and chump change. Bands make it dance. You know what doesn't? Chump change.
I don't know. I feel like anytime someone's using chump change, they're dropping a lot of money, and they're like, chump change, whatever.
Yeah, it's chump change. Yeah. Dead presidents and Boodle. I think we know who won that round there. So, collectively speaking,
you got 20 Boodle. I got 20
listen,
Boodle.
I'm gonna be honest with you. Okay,
It's pretty close. It's closer than you thought originally.
If it wasn't for Benjamins and cheddar cheese, this would be a mopping. But those two are so highly regarded that it's like I can't just call it a win, you know. So
give me that cheddar cheese.
So I won't call it a win or a loss. We'll keep it there. We'll let the people decide. Just to go over the list again, I got dough, bucks, coin, bread, moolah, bands, and dead presidents. And the bum has Benjamins, cash, De Niro, cheddar cheese, fat stacks, chump change, and boodle.
I don't know why, but Boodle.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to start saying Boodle.
That's our game. We do have a little more time if you want to go over anything else. Do you have any topic you want to bring up?
I don't necessarily have any topics that I could bring up, but we could always talk about the Boston Major in Rocket League that's happening and will be happening through this weekend.
Go for it. I don't know I know Optic lost today. That's all I know.
Yes, Optic lost
to hold on, don't tell me.
You know,
it's that one good team. That one good team. It sounds wet, moist. Moist gave me. Yeah, I lost the Moist.
Esports.
They got sent to losers bracket, right?
Yep, they're now in the losers bracket. I mean,
and Squishy is officially off energy as of yesterday.
Yep.
Yes.
So yesterday, big drop where he didn't leave like on bad terms. It's all good blood. emotional tweets from both Justin and Garrett G. And the thing that I'm excited for is he says he's already got 2 players that he's ready to go with. Yeah. And that he's going to be looking for an org, and that he's going to work his way back to the top. And honestly, like, if there is a person that could bring back Cloud9, it would be Squishy. And imagine the hype if he brought back Cloud9 into the Rocket League scene. I'm just curious to know who these 2 people are, because it sounds like,
If he's not saying who they are, they're competing currently on a different team.
I mean, it could be, especially if he's got Cloud9 in his back pocket. Like,
He would have said who it was if they
If they're
weren't currently
free?
on a team. Yeah.
mhm.
So Cloud9, I just missed their honestly, I really just missed their Rocket League skins. They're pretty nice.
So good. That black
Yeah.
and that blue
The black and the blue
with
look
the
nice.
shine.
Yep.
So not only that, but like, they are masters at farming impressions on Twitter, because they will, like, anytime there's an opportunity for them to even potentially come back, they will just poke their nose in and say, "Hey, Rocket League, you looking?" Like,
Mhm.
but they haven't come back yet. That's why I'm hoping that this is like, he's got it. And again,
So they never won, right? The team was not the greatest.
who? Cloud9?
No. The NRG team.
NRG? Yeah, they've gone about a year without.
Has
Yeah.
Justin won like the big one?
Yeah, he's gotten a world championship.
Okay.
Yeah, him, Garrett, and Turbo Pulsa.
And Turbo
won.
left after that, right?
Well, they replaced him with Squishy.
I think we need to start looking at Justin and Garrett.
I don't think so.
I do.
I think Garrett's still, like, he's at the top.
No. Not individually. Together. That duo, I think, needs to look internally.
Oh yeah,
Think about separating.
yeah. No,
Specifically Justin.
there's been a lot of topic about if NRG is going to make a move. It's not going to be one move. It's
Yeah.
going to be, they will then pick one person to build around. My guess is they probably pick Justin to build
Justin.
around, and Garrett would go off. Squishy would go off and do his thing.
That's the benefit to Justin being marketable. Garrett's not
Mhm.
really marketable. He just kind of does. I mean, he's good, very good, but
Mhm.
he kind of does his job and goes home. Justin does his job, goes home and streams for 10 hours. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, that's the hard part, is like both Justin and Squishy have huge followings.
Yeah.
Versus, like, the only real thing that Garrett's got going for him is he's probably the most respected player on both sides of the pond. Like,
Besides me, of course.
no, get out of here. They call this man the Captain America of Rocket League.
Last time I looked, he abandoned everybody and left, and hasn't been heard from since. Captain America, that is.
Oh, I'm like, what are you talking about? No.
They call me Tony because I was the savior of Rocket League. You know,
Yeah.
if it wasn't for me, the Rocket League wouldn't be where it's at. But I digress.
Mm-hmm. No, but this. So back to this major. You don't have G2 here. You don't have version 1, which is arguably got like the best duo in the world. What is?
Version 1. They still those. But Indian team.
No, so version 1's beast mode. They picked up Daniel from Space Station, and then they got Calm. And like the duo of beast mode, Daniel is supposed to be like the most dangerous, but they didn't make it to the major. Yeah, the 5 teams that came from America are very like, or I should say North America, are very weird. So you have Space Station coming in at the number 1 seed. And then after that, you have, who's after that? FaZe didn't even make it. Hold on, let me pull this up, because now I'm thinking Optic. Did Optic come in at number 2? There's no way.
You're a hater, man.
No. It's not that I'm hating. It's just
There's no way. There's no way. Optic is the best team in the league.
no.
Okay. Doesn't matter what the league is. Pick the league. They're the best in it.
No.
Halo. CS:GO, Rocket League, Call of Duty, content creation.
I mean, they do have
War
great
goners.
content. They do have great content. Green Vikings. Oh, okay. No. All right. So it was Space Station, Furia, Optic, Complexity, and Gen G. So you have Furia, which was the South American team that moved to North America. And then you had Complexity, which was also a South America team that moved to North America. It's crazy. FaZe not being there is weird.
Didn't qualify at all.
FaZe did not qualify for this. FaZe version 1, G2, like those are 3 that have typically always been there. But
Genji's always there.
so then the crazy thing is on the European side, they have like the most stacked European teams of all time. They have Team Vitality that has like the new hotshot Zen, who's just like if you look up any clips of Zen, he's just is playing his own game of Rocket League, and this is his debut, and that team has been
His
the
LAN
first
debut.
This is his LAN debut, and then it's also his RLCS debut. He started in the spring, but when he started, Vitality's now the first and only team to have ever won all 3 regionals back to back to back.
Wow.
And when you go watch it, like the shots that this kid is making, who's only 16 years old, is nuts. Like everybody's talking about like how this guy's doing more than what Justin did at his debut, which was obviously the most iconic shot in Rocket League history.
This is Rocket League.
Yep. So you have that team, Team BDS, the reigning world champs. They should be there. Carmine Corp, arguably one of the best teams right now. Team Liquid. I'll send you a clip of one of the Team Liquid players. This man gets bumped off of the sidewall, is flying backwards, starts to control his car, and then does a flip reset and gets a goal off of being bumped off the wall. It's like the craziest shot I've ever seen, and it was during a live LAN. So like the pressure's on. Like
Yeah.
And the kid's 16.
All eyes on him, pretty much.
Yeah, these kids are insane. And then you have Moist Esports. So like it feels like the very best of Europe are there. In North America, it's like middle of the road. And then I wouldn't be surprised if Team Vitality won. Like they're just that good.
Yeah. You know, I appreciate you being the expert in this topic, but Miracle from Optic. That's what's gonna happen here.
Yeah, I mean, I like Optic
Miracle
too.
Run. Miracle
And-
Run. Don't even try and don't try and patch it up. Miracle Run.
No. What
Round
Optic,
1 losers all the way through the grand finals, and they're gonna win. What's the series out of grand finals?
best of 7, but it's a double elim. So if they're coming up, they have to win 2 best of 7s.
8-0.
I know. So that's not Optic though. Like they're gonna get 2 reverse sweeps to where they come back and lose 3 in a row and then win 4, and then lose 3 in a row and win 4. Like that's that team.
No. No, I've talked to him personally after the loss today. We're shaping up 8-0.
You're something else, man.
Anyways, sounds interesting. I'm probably gonna watch it because Call of Duty's off season has begun and it's gotten pretty crazy so far. So
This would be a great time for your plug.
yeah. So Call of Duty League. I am doing a TikTok style episodic series on the Call of Duty League.
It's actually pretty good.
Yeah. So the Loadout Show on TikTok, right? The Loadout Show.
Mhm.
THE Loadout LOADOUT show SHOW. That is me. I'm on TikTok now. I'm making short form content, usually less than 3 minutes if I can help it, about the Call of Duty League, the players in it, what's going on right now with Roster Mania. If you guys know what that is, it means that the rosters are being shaken up. So I'm going over all the rumors, all the changes that have been confirmed, denied, everything like that. So I have like since Friday. I think I pumped out like, I don't know, 7 videos.
Mhm.
I have 3 more coming out tonight, if not tomorrow. I'm gonna edit after the show, so I'm grinding there, man. I'm having a great time doing it. My setup is pretty simple but pretty good.
No, that's good.
So I'm super excited. Super
The
excited.
crazy thing about like roster mania in general is always so fun, but the fact that like I think you said in one of your episodes, it's like 65%
Yeah.
of the teams are changing.
Yeah.
So this is like taking Call of
The whole
Duty
league. Yeah.
and flipping it on its head.
Yep. 70% of players that were active last year have been released for free agency. So, and then we have the thing about like Call of Duty, its uniqueness is like they have a Challengers League, which is like the one right below the Pro League, and a lot of players are very good there. And I haven't released a video yet, so I'll give you like a little tip, like not tip, but a little tidbit here.
Sneak preview.
Yeah, sneak preview for the next one, which is going to be tomorrow. Seattle Surge, they dropped their entire roster, which was a bunch of two veterans and 2 young players who are very, very, very good. They dropped their entire coach. They dropped their GM. Like all intents and purposes, they're a whole new organization, pretty much. They're moving to Vancouver, number 1. So they're moving from Seattle to Vancouver. Number 2, they're making an all French-speaking team. Number 3, all the players from the French-speaking team are not in the league currently. They're in Challengers.
Nice.
One of them is very good. His name is Abuza. He's really, 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 like I'm telling you, like the next big thing. He's very, very good. But with that being said, of the 70% of players that were like free agents or whatever, that's 4 slots taking up people that are not them. So like the league's just going to get more competitive at this point. I think it'll be top heavy. The top 5 teams will be like the top 5 teams by far. But then like the mid to like lower bracket teams are going to have good enough players to like compete still. So it's going to be interesting. I also think it's going to be really cool that we have an all challenger team come in, because if Seattle does this, they pull it off properly and they actually like end up winning even like one major or like placing like top 4, top 6 consistently, then it's going to put the entire league of veterans like on notice that like, hey, this team is all challengers players. Like if they're winning, why would we still go with you guys who are all old veterans? And so it's interesting. It's going to be an interesting season. I think it's 5 months, so it's kind of a long off season. But right now, I'm doing roster mania stuff. After roster mania is over, because it's going to be over pretty quickly, usually within a month or 2. It's 3 months of off season to go. I'm probably going to do an analysis of each team after that, how they look on paper, and then after that, an even more in-depth analysis about each player on each team. So content will be flowing pretty freely. Going for 3 to 5 videos a week. Right now, I am well above that. But I'm excited, man. I'm very passionate about the Call of Duty scene, and to put my knowledge to use somewhere is pretty cool. And then eventually, what I want to do is have this like these 3 to 5 videos are going to lead to like one extensively long video on YouTube per week that goes into more detail about those subjects. So right now, it's in the process, but the TikTok is up for sure, and I'm loving it. And I think it's a great. I do think it's good content. Like
it is. It's solid.
I'm in a unique position to where I'm not an insider. I'm not an ex-pro player, and the scene, that's all they have speaking for them. It's insiders and ex-pro players, guys who are like kind of nice to pros because they know them, guys who have too much knowledge on the inside for their own good. I'm a fan, and like no one speaking from a fan perspective. I'm thinking like Stephen A. Smith, right? Like he started out like just doing New York Knicks basketball, didn't play basketball except for like in high school, but never like pro. Didn't know anybody, and just like talked about like a fan's perspective of the Knicks. I'm trying to do that right now with the Call of Duty League. I'm trying to get 1,000 followers by champs next year, so I can get a creator badge and just kind of walk freely throughout the venue.
That'd be cool.
But yeah, man, I'm super excited for it. I have a unique opportunity to like be different in the sense that like I have a niche. I'm a fan instead of like an insider. So follow me there. The Loadout Show. I love it. It's been great. I'm gonna keep doing it pretty much.
And as somebody who doesn't watch Call of Duty, it's like the videos are good and they're not long to where you're like, what is he going on about? Like, it's short, concise, and gives you that information where it's like, okay, maybe I will start watching once the season kicks back up. So as somebody who's not necessarily a fan, just go give it a watch. Then hit that heart button and then subscribe. But that is our show for tonight. like I said, we had the dynamic duo. I don't really have anything else to finish. So without a further ado, we'll see you guys later. I don't
Bid
have the
you
button to
adieu.
push.
Oh,
I can't do that.
Here, we'll
I'm not
say again.
allowed to.
Go again.
No.
I'll go ahead and push it.
It's only one and done.
We bid you adieu. Pick your hat
Farewell.
up.